That's my girl. Okay. So anyways, our first Monday in June, how exciting. Okay, so at my church, they just finished up a series called Leveling Up, which is crazy because that's what we've been talking about with our Plexus businesses is leveling up. And so it's just like been going hand in hand. I'm like, well, okay, Jesus, I hear you. So it's been super good. And I took these notes. So I'm going to go through kind of what the sermon was, and I'm going to just tie it back to Plexus. So I hope the message comes off how I want it to. And I'll try my best to talk slower. Anyway, so the series about leveling up in life goes with what we've been focusing on, right? And the story that they were talking about was Matthew 14:22-33, where Jesus and Peter are in the boat on the water. Yeah. He told the disciples to get in the boat. He's walking on water. That story, if we follow. And basically, Peter says, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you in the water. And he says, come. So then Peter gets out of the boat and he starts walking on the water towards Jesus. But then he saw the wind and he got afraid. He doubted and he began to sink. He asked for help. Jesus got him out of the water immediately. But Jesus saved him and he said, you have little faith. Why did you doubt? And so that kind of goes with we all have this tug, right, of doing Plexus business, of not just like, I enjoy taking my active every day. Like you have this tug, this want, this why to be here. And why do we doubt ourselves? Why do we have such little doubt instead of keeping our faith strong? It's kind of where it started out. And then so the pastor went on to say, basically, he sees potential in us. Then why do we doubt ourselves so much? Through a storm, Jesus wanted Peter to be the man to get out of the boat. It's okay if we get wet. Be bold and don't doubt we've been called by him. So you have to trust in him, believe in yourself, step out and bless others is what Jesus is asking us to do. Have faith, trust the gifts he's given us and the callings to do so, step out of our comfort zones and bless others, which is what we do with Plexus every day when we are sharing. And we've all heard the whatever quote or whatnot you want to call it, the faith the size of a mustard seed. So he said, all you have to do is have faith the size of a mustard seed. Faith that'll move mountains, even if sometimes we feel like the mountains are on top of us, which I know a lot of us have been going through some hard seasons, whether that be quitting jobs, changing jobs, kids home for summer. I don't know, you're sick, your husband's sick, the whole family's sick, somebody's sick, like the dog's throwing up. I don't know. We've been going through a lot of stuff. So even if we feel like the mountains are on top of us, you're like, Jesus, help us. He's like, all you have to do is have a little bit of faith and just keep pushing through, right? And so he said, like, if we wait, which I also think this is like goes along with our training, if we wait till we're in a better mood, if we wait to get more motivation, if we wait for the right timing, if we wait till I'm better equipped, we just won't. Like, that's just what it is. Like, we're just never going to actually start. So when we get out and start and actually do it, then that's when we finally feel good. And so I kind of tied that back to, I was talking to my boyfriend earlier, and when I was like kind of going over my notes with him, and I was like days I really hit it hard. Like I do a really good winning day. I was like, what is the word? This is on the back of a winning day sheet. When I like really do it, like I hit one hard, I feel good. Like you feel good. Do I want to sometimes on my break if the baby's been crazy? I'm a full-time nanny. No, but she's napping. Boom. I hit up my winning day. Guess what? I feel good. I feel accomplished. I did it. Did I want to do it? No. I said, this is what I'm supposed to do. If I just get it done, you feel better once you do it, right? So really, Peter only took one step and Jesus did the rest. Kind of like the analogy Jill uses all the time. We're over here being like, I just really want some cake. Jesus, please send me some cake. And Jesus is like, okay, well, there's flour, sugar, eggs, and milk. And you're like, no, 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 I want a cake. And he's like, I'm giving you everything you need. You just have to have a little faith and do it. You have to take the action to do it. So that's like all this training that we're constantly being given is the gold calls. Y'all watch those. They're golden. I said it in our BBB training today. If you can't watch them, I cannot watch them on Mondays. My bosses are home. It's not a thing. The baby's awake. I cannot watch at 12:30, but I literally forward them to myself. I have a method with Jen Sims and I can watch them, and I watched it on the way home. Amazing. Don't miss out. Like we're being like, when I started in 2017, we do not have the trainings that we have now. These are amazing. And I'm soaking them in. You should soak them in. They're being handed to us for free trainings. And yes, do the action, listen, soak it in, and then apply it, right? And then, sorry, I feel like I'm yelling at y'all. Hope that's not how you feel. Excited. Okay. So then, like sometimes he said, sometimes we don't feel like taking on the challenge. We feel like we just can't handle anymore. You just have those days where like, one more thing. I swear, if my cat meows one more time, like I ain't gonna have a cat, like one of those days. But action changes attitude. And so kind of like our call with Alita a few Mondays ago, like you feel the overwhelm, don't let the overwhelm take over. Take the action that you know that needs to be done, whether that is meal prepping, so you don't have to do the action of dinner later, or so then changes your attitude. You're already home, like, oh, like I meal prepped yesterday. I'm like, guess what? We don't gotta make breakfast for 4 days. Great. Like my attitude feels real good when I came home, right? Same with our Plexus business. Take the action. I don't know any of y'all, if y'all ever worked a winning day and then you're like, man, that sucked. I should have not done that. No, none of us are going to sit there and be like, I'm mad I did that to myself. No, we all feel so much good, like better, and like our attitude so much better. So a couple of questions that the preacher asked, or pastor, whatever you want to call him, is what boats are you being called to step out of? Well, like I said, we're all being called to this business for a reason. And some of those boats might even be getting out of our comfort zone, which we talk a lot about, that growth cannot happen inside of our comfort zone. Growth happens when we get uncomfortable. So step out of those boats. What is that you're not doing? Posting on social media, talking in your stories, talking to people in person. That used to be a big thing for me. Like I'd shy away for whatever reason, but I boldly share on like my social media. So, is that wearing a Plexus shirt to an event, step out of that boat. What boats are you being called to step out of? So really self-reflect there. And another one is, how do I encourage and empower others to step out of the boat? That's what we're doing when we're trying to build belief in others. We're trying to set an example and grow a team and duplicate and all those things. So how do I encourage and empower others if I'm not also stepping out of the boat, right? So also kind of went with the gold call today. You have to have belief in the business, belief in the products, and belief in yourself to help others and to empower others. And so how am I going to sign someone on, Susie Q, and I'm like, all right, girl, you go on to Emerald, girl. I'm here for you. If I'm not doing any of the steps and stepping out and doing it myself, right? So we have to empower and encourage others. And a lot of those, if you have children, this is true. The best way to teach a child anything is by your actions. You could tell them all day and they're like, I ain't listening. But if you show them, so say I had a kid, I want them to use their manners. And I'm like, use your manners. And they're like, well, you don't use your manners. But if I start telling my boyfriend every day, oh, please and thank you, well, they're going to mimic that. The same way is how we're going to empower others, is if we're also doing that. And that's the best way to get going is to do, right? And Kelsey said it best today, where if you're failing forward, you're still moving forward. A lot of us, none of us got figured out, but we're all learning and we're all trying and pivoting and things. Anyways, so that was the sermon notes there. And how I related to Plexus. One, leveling up, right? Action changes attitude. And to level up, it requires both knowledge and skill. So knowledge, as in, we always say it's what do we say? 80% something, 20% skill set, 80% mindset, 20% skill set, right? So by knowledge, we learn things, we're doing things, we're doing trainings. So some of y'all are brand new, I'm sure. I don't know all y'all's faces. So whether you've been here a day, a week, a month, forever, Jill's been here 9 years. She's still learning things all the time. She's still doing training. She's still plugging in. So knowledge doesn't mean you have to have the knowledge. It means you need to go learn and get the knowledge, grasp as much as you can, be a sponge, right? And then skill, do. So you don't have to have the skill already, but how's the best way to learn something? To do it, to try it, to fail forward, to keep moving on. Use us around you. We're all in this together. But it's like, I'm going to keep referring to kids because it's what I do. I'm a nanny. But a baby who's trying to learn how to walk, she doesn't just not keep trying. What do? They keep trying over and over until they get that skill set. So same with us. If you feel like I made one post, I got one like, never again. Good Lord. No, you have to keep going and keep sharing and being bold. So knowledge and skill to level up means plug into those trainings and learn some new skills and do those skills. So I know a lot of us plug into these calls and it's like, that's so great. And then we turn off our phones and we're like, good night. No, we have to implement what we're learning, or you're literally just like one ear out the other, right? So do those skills. And then, so going back to where I started with this, we've all had a tug on our hearts to do the business, right? We all talk about our whys a lot. Maybe not if you're new, so I'll go over it, but your why are you doing this? What is driving you to do this every day? What is driving you to get into our chats on this call right now? I don't think it's, I want $5. I just don't. You wouldn't be plugged in this call right now. So what is your why? Your why should be big. Your why should be scary. It should be more than just you. It really should. Now, if you're not there yet, that's okay. That's okay. But I will say I've been here since 2017 and my why has continued to grow, and it's become more specific. And it's not just about this, maybe one day, like I have this huge thing that I see potential in doing, and it doesn't just involve me, it involves so many others. And so if you don't know your why, message us in the chat, not this chat, because I don't know how to check that, but our big team chat, and we can talk about that. We can help you with your whys. Any of our leaders can help you with your why to figure that out. Of like, just really sit down in quiet time and be like, why do I want to do this? What deep in your heart? Not like, it'd be so nice to make $1,000. Why would that change your life? So this is like God asking Peter to get in the boat, right? He tugged us to be here. And you're like, yeah, like something deep down was like, I need this. So focus on your why. What is it? And we're called here to bless others and help people. That's what we do with our job. It's not about money. You really should not focus and be like, if I sign her, that's $20. If I sign her, that's $20. If I sign her, that's 20. And guess what? Now I'm up to silver and I got $100 bonus. We shouldn't do that. We should say, Susie Q has really bad cystic acne and could use some help. Bobby Joe, wow, she just can't poop for days. Like, that's terrible. You know what I mean? Like, they're people. They have real lives, real issues, and we're here to help them and to bless others. And one of the biggest things Plexus says, if you're blessed, be a blessing. And so that's so true. If you didn't know, Plexus is basically like a faith-based company. And if you're going to Nashville, you'll see that. They be jamming some Jesus jams. It's my jam. It's good. Me and Lee have dance parties. But think about that. Think of like, yes. No, so like your why might be, I need to bring home $500 a month. What would that help with? That help with groceries for $100 a week. Great. And how else am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to help my neighbor who blah, blah, blah. And so it's a evolving thing. So anyways, think about that. Really focus on your why. Break it down, because yes, we get to the mountains and it's hard, or the hills, or whatever you want to call it. And you're like trucking along and you feel like you can't, but you got to go back to why. Why am I in this fight? Why am I doing this? And focus on that. And that's what a lot of times pushes us through, because none of us have had a journey that's been like, this is so fun the whole time. No, ain't nobody on the call going to say that. That's not true. I'll tell you they're a liar because they ain't going to say it. So anyways. And it's like, so we all have trials, right? And it's like, it's easy. So you can be like, my daughter's sick. My husband's gone. I don't know. My car died. The dog ate a shoe, whatever that may be. Summertime and my kids won't leave me alone. I might have to throw my pen at them, something, right? I don't know, something. And what do? We blame those things. Well, ain't your baby's fault she got the flu. Probably the dog's fault that I ate the shoe. But you know what I mean? So instead of that, focus on, it's just like, something weighing us down. What do? We overcome. Focus on our why, get the winning day done, get the hardest things done first, which Lee's talked about, and then move forward. But staying plugged in, like Jill said on the gold call today, will get you here. So also, I'm going to be very transparent with you. I have been doing a lot of focusing this year and really narrowing down and doing some of my hard work. And I have been the person who is, like Jill said, sorry, check the time. Like Jill, it's only been 15 minutes. My goodness. Anyways, like Jill said, the people that start again, stop again, start again, stop again. And I've been that. And I'm going to be honest with you. And then so I don't want to be that anymore. So I just keep trucking along. I'm texting Lee all the time. Look what I'm doing. I got this conversation going on. We're like accountability partners. She's also my sponsor. So we're also best friends. So I refer to her often. But it's here. I'm keeping accountability. That's what we're doing. She's helping me. I've been here since 2017. I ask her the most ridiculous questions. And she's a godsend to me. But like we're here doing it, right? And then I've also been the type where I've listened to a call and I'm like, that's so great. Goodbye, back to my life. And I'm like, what am I doing? And then so I'm not just saying this at y'all to preach at y'all about this. It's also about myself. It was like an awakening to me. I'm like, that's it. What am I doing? I have all this knowledge, all the skills that were being taught for free, being poured into, that Jill doesn't have to do that. Jill, Rachel, Lee, Marissa, Kelsey, they don't have to take the time. They take a lot of time behind the scenes that y'all don't see to plug in and to help. And how can we do this? And we're growing, we're doing it together. And I'm like, we got to take advantage of that. Like, that's so nice. I don't feel like all the other teams on Plexus have this. Maybe, I hope so, but probably not, because our team's best. But so anyways, so it's like, you like take it, use it. And also another thing that spoke to me is God called us, right? So he might call me for something different, you for something different, you, whatever your why may be, or that you feel you're being called to help others to do whatever in life. And I'm like, it's the same with our business. It's our business. So no one is going to make sure I'm doing my work. Lee's not texting me, did you message people today? Instead, I'm texting Lee. I'm like, girl, look this, I done did this today. And I got so-and-so in the event, you know? And so it's my business. It's your business. It's not Jill's business. Jill's business is doing great because Jill be taking care of her business, right? But it's my business. It's yours. And, you know, so you have to take ownership of that, because no one's coming up behind us like a teacher in school taking attendance. No, it's more like college. They don't care. You come to class, you don't. You fail, you don't. You paid the money. You paid the $39.95. You buy your products. You've invested in this. Don't let it go. Like, take all the knowledge and really do it. Everyone is here capable of going gold or ruby or diamond or double diamond or whatever that may look like for you. But it's like action changes attitude, and leveling up requires knowledge and skill. So write those things down. I love those. I put those in my office. It's so true. Take what we're given, use it as a gift, and keep going. But like, if you're ever like, I saw some people were saying that, you know, they felt like we have belief in the business, we have belief in the product, not in ourselves. Why not in ourselves? Why don't we have the belief in ourselves? Who like, and I loved how Jill worded it again, go watch the gold call. But I was like giving you all little notes, but how she worded it, that you can't let the unbelievers waver my belief. No, that goes for anything across the board. If I'm at a dinner and I want to order a glass of white wine and everybody else is getting red, okay, like, do you think that, I mean, I don't know, I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to be like, well, I got to get red too, you know what I mean? So if these 4 people are like, your products are trash, well, that sucks because my gut feels good and I poop every day, you know, like, you got to keep going this the same way. Or I've had people, we all have had people even close in our family who have doubted our businesses. Why are we doing this? It's so unconventional, yada yada yada. But guess what? We're changing lives. They don't pay our bills. We got to step out. Got to step out of the boat. We got to just trust and use our skills, and we'll get to it. And that's basically it. So if anyone has anything to input, but that's I hope that all made sense and kind of like tied to what we're doing. But I just felt like that's it, because we've all had storms and mountains and this and that, and we want to step out of the boat, but half the time we're like, no, I'm all right back here with the life jacket. But it's like, that's not going to ever get us to where we want to be and where we need to be and where our final goal is, you know? So anyways, okay. Unmute and chat if you have anything to say. Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? I see giggles. I don't hear anything. No?
I'll chime in. I thought that was really great. I mean, I think that's just a lesson that we can all just follow after, just in life in general. And I love that you were able to, like, that happens to me often. I'll be sitting in church, or I'll be listening to a podcast, or even like just a worship song. And just like one line will hit me, and I'm like, oh, I need to apply that to my life, or I need to apply that to my business. And a lot of it always relates to having big faith. I mean, really, that's what anything in life is based off. It's based off of, you have a dream in your heart, then you have to have faith to go after it. And by going after it, it means taking action. And there's always going to be seasons of doubt. There's always going to be up at like really, really high highs. And there's going to be moments where you're like, what the? And you're like sliding down again. But as much as possible, when you're in those moments of doubt, or when you're in those seasons, or in the valley, or when the days when it's just like, this is just too much, everything's just, you know, I'm going to go to sleep, start over, try again. Even when you're in those moments, if you can still hold on to your why, if you can still hold on to that dream, you can still just have full faith that, like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 months, but I'm going, then you're going to get there. Everybody's timeline is different. Everybody's story is going to be different, and everybody's going to fall at different times, and everybody's going to rise at different times. But it's about continuing to get up and move forward, and moving forward with faith, and then following that faith with action. And so I love that Jen was able to share all of that with us. And it was really powerful. Thank you, friend.
You're welcome. Thanks everyone
for chime in. You can.
I'll chime in real quick. I love that you had faith incorporated with this tonight, because I feel like so many people lose that, and it's so easy to lose faith in anything that you're doing that you feel like is something that God laid on your heart. I posted a long time ago, Jesus was the first network marketer. he hand chose his 12 and taught them to duplicate and multiply. And that is what I feel like Plexus is. It's to duplicate and multiply. And I feel like we have such an amazing ministry with Plexus because we can help change people's health, like impact their health and their finances and change their life for the better. And you see the testimonies of better health and life changing. I know for me, I know for Lee, Kelsey, like people leaving their full-time job and being able to do Plexus full-time. And so it's something that can be done, but it's like holding on to that mustard seed of faith and keeping on to that. And when God lays this on your heart, even on the bad days, he didn't do that for nothing. And so many people lose track of that with their faith, and they think it doesn't work, or they just lose sight of it. And so being in a company and with a company that can do so many things and holding on to that, like Jesus didn't lay this on our heart for nothing. And we have to remember that on the good days, the bad days, the days where you don't feel like your business is moving, because so many people give up right before big things happen. And so I just love that you shared this tonight about being faithful and holding on to that and continuing and holding on to your why with it. So that's what I want to share.
I'll chip in to get some time. So mine's kind of more of like a tip. My mind's just kind of going on where you can go with this at a standpoint of posting and reaching out and connecting, right? And so what I would say as a tip, this whole year has just been, as y'all know, and if you don't know, has been really rocky for myself. And I've shared some ugly, not near all of it, but I've shared a lot of good. And I feel like to be transparent with people and let them know when you're going through a valley. I know like us moms on here and other people on here that aren't moms, we share what we're going through in hopes that we can connect with people. And I feel like that's stepping out in your faith as well. And they know it's not just a highlight reel, like you're a human being and you struggle as well. We all can struggle and we all can get back up. And I think we here as a community do a really good job of locking arms and being that support, but really we can take other people under our arms, under our wing, right? And get them and pull them in that lifeboat with us. I did a Monday meetup not too long ago about that. It's like, why aren't we out there searching for those people that truly do need that community? And that should be something as people in Plexus and this team right here, I feel like we truly do a good job of trying to bring in people that are suffering, that are in that valley and need to get pulled out of it. And I just felt it on my heart to share that. But don't be afraid to share your journey and to share your valleys and to share your struggle, because people want to know that you struggle too. And most likely they're going to relate to that, right? Because we all struggle. I'm sure every one of us on here can say something that they're struggling with right now. We don't always talk about that. We like to talk about the good, right? But I would encourage you sometime this week to get in your stories, make a post about something you're struggling with or something that you think people could relate to, and you could have a conversation with them about. Don't even say Plexus. Don't even have to have a business conversation, just something you can connect genuinely with someone about, a valley that they're going through, and you can connect it with faith. So great job, Jen. I love you as always.
Love you. Awesome. Well, y'all head over to the event. It starts in 5 minutes. Like I said, don't forget to send out the reminders to the people that you have there so they know to tune in.